Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So in this today's video, we are going to talk about the accounting treatment of banking transactions in cash book with bank and cash column. I know I'm posting this video so late. It is delayed by 1 month. I'm literally very sorry for that. Due to some work, I didn't got time to upload my video, but from now on I will definitely make sure that I post my videos on that regular basis. uh, Due to some work I couldn't upload videos, but now I'm going to focus on this so that your track will not be missed out, and I will make sure that each and everything will be covered. So let's talk about the topic we are going to discuss in this today's video. So before getting to the double column cash books example, we are going to see some sort of some banking transactions which we do not see rarely, that are in transactions, but we need to understand that how these transactions we have to identify, where they have to be posted, how to record them. Everything we are going to see in this today's video. So this video is related to that. It is a little part of theory which needs to be discussed because it is very important in your this double column cash book. So without any further delay, we will directly get into the video. So this is the accounting treatment of banking transactions in cash book with cash and bank columns. So before getting to the example of this type of cash book, we are going to see some of the banking transactions that take place in cash book with cash and bank columns. So let's start. First is opening balances, checks received, checks issued and dishonor. So in that, the first is opening balance of bank account. Now how the opening balance of bank account you have to recognize when total of receipt side, that is debit side, is greater than the total of payment side, that is credit side. It is known as debit balance. We have already seen in some of the previous examples, or in one of the example of simple cash book, when you have to equal both the sides, what you do is, if debit side is greater than credit side, then you minus the credit side amount from the debit side to balance both the sides, so that we get the actual amount which is less in credit side. So the remaining balance which is being carried down, that is known as debit balance or credit balance. Now here they have given when debit is greater than the credit side, it is known as debit balance, and when credit is greater than debit side, then it is known as credit balance. Next, when total of payment side, that is credit side, is greater than the total of receipt side, it is known as credit balance. I told you now. Bank account is a personal account, therefore it can have debit balance or credit balance. It depends if you are having debit or credit balance, whichever is greater, then these two accounts gets debit or credit effects, whichever is greater. Credit balance in bank account means bank overdraft. I have told you the meaning of bank overdraft. When the amount in your savings bank account or in any current bank account, if you are withdrawing much more amount than the actual amount that you are having in the account, bank gives you that facility to draft that amount from your account even if you are not having enough or sufficient balance in your account. That is known as bank overdraft. It is a service rendered by bank to the customers or any businessmen. So what will be the conditions under this opening balance of bank account? So the first will be when debit balance of bank account is given. Okay, if the balance is debit, when debit balance of bank account is given, it will appear on the receipt side of cash book in the bank column as under to balance brought down. Now in this, why to balance brought down? Because if previous year's cash book has debit balance, that is in bank account, then in next year's cash book with cash and bank columns, it will appear on receipt side, that is on the debit side, as to balance brought down. So this to balance brought down is the previous year's cash book with cash and bank columns amount. So that is why to balance brought down is written over here when you are getting debit balance of bank account. Remember, when bank account is given, you have to record that amount in bank account column only. You need not to write the amount in cash as well as bank column, just in bank column, because specifically they have given you bank account, so it will appear in bank column. And if cash is given, then you have to record that in cash column. But it depends, it is debit balance or credit balance. You have to recognize it first and then you have to post it. So next, when credit balance of bank account is given or overdraft in bank account is given. Now this is the situation. Now if credit balance of bank is known as overdraft, okay, when you are withdrawing money which is less in your account. Suppose if you are having a very lesser amount in your savings account, current account, and you are withdrawing much more amount than your actual amount in the account, it is known as overdraft. Overdraft is a situation when amount withdrawn by account holder exceeds deposit in current account. I told you, when it is exceeding the actual deposits you have kept in your account, then that particular situation is known as overdraft. It is a short-term loan given by bank to current account holders. It is a sort of loan that you have to pay after a certain period, but till that time, for your utilization, bank provides you that service to you. It is recorded on the payment side of the cash book in the bank column as under by balance brought down. Why balance brought down? If your cash withdrawn, that is, if the overdraft facility you have taken from the bank, that is of the previous year, and you have to keep the record till it is completely paid. So in the next year's cash book, that is new financial year, you are going to write in the payment side by balance brought down, because this is not yet paid, so you have to record it until it is fully paid. Okay, yearly until it is fully paid. Okay, so this is how you have to record the transactions in opening balance of bank account. Now this is related to bank account. If it would have been with cash, then you have to record these transactions in cash column depending upon debit side and credit side. So next, now second type is check received. Checks can be received for cash sales, commission, dividend, interest, or settlement of accounts. Okay, now you can receive check for cash sales. I told you what is cash sales. When you have made sales and immediate payment of amount is paid to you in cash, that is called as cash sales. Commission, then dividend on any investment in any company, in any firm, in any enterprise, that dividend, interest if you have taken debentures, anything, then interest on that, or settlement of accounts. If you are paying to somebody, then that is known as settlement. Next, crossed check received. Now you must have got question, what is crossed check? Now if you want video regarding this, like what are the types of check, what is cross check, I will definitely make a video on that and you will understand it better in that video, how checks are being issued or received and which type of checks are being issued and received. So in short, I will explain to you here what is cross check. If you have ever seen a check, on the left hand side in the top corner of the check, two diagonal lines are drawn at the top of the check. So if I will draw here, if this is a check, I'll draw here. If this is the format of the check, okay, and here are some particulars that are written in the check, and at the topmost corner, that is on the left hand side of the check, here in top corner, two diagonal lines are drawn. parallel to each other. This is known as a crossed check. So this is how you have to identify the type of check. So let's see what is in crossed check received. When crossed check is received, it is recorded on receipt side of cash book in the bank column as to sales, interest, commission or customer's account. Now if you are receiving a check from somebody in respect of any sales or in respect of any profit, then that should be recorded on the receipt side of the cash book, because you are receiving that check, so you have to record it on the debit side, that is on the receipt side. So how you will write it to sales? Whatever sales you have made, against that if you are receiving that check, then you have to write down to sales, or if you are getting that check due to interest, then interest, commission and customer's account. So this is how you have to record crossed check when you are receiving it. Now don't get confused over here. If in question or if in transaction it is given to you, you are receiving a crossed check from Sohail Enterprises, then without thinking much, you have to write down whatever the transaction is to sales, or whatever you are receiving for the particular type of transaction you are receiving check. Immediately you have to write down the amount in the bank column, because crossed check is going to get cleared in a bank and that particular amount is going to get credited in your account. So that is why this all transactions are related to banking. So without thinking much, directly you have to write down this amount in bank column of cash book with cash and bank column. So this is how you have to record the transactions. Now how will be the journal entry for this? Journal entry will not be asked to you to write down, but for your better understanding, here in this text they have given you the journal entry for this. So see how they have to write down the journal entry. Bank account debits. Since this is going to be the receiver of the amount, so debit what comes in. Since bank account is a personal account, debit the receiver and credit the giver. So bank account is going to receive that particular check, so bank account debit. And in what respect you are receiving that check, that you have to write down. If you are receiving that check by selling, so to sales, interest, commission or whatever type of account it is, you have to give it the credit effect. Now why credit effect? If it is a profit, then you are giving it a credit effect. Credit all incomes and gains. All these transactions, these journal entry depends upon the golden rules which I've already told you in my previous video. So do watch that video for better understanding of the rules. Now in bearer check received, if this is the condition. Now again you have got a question, what is bearer check? As I don't know if you have seen a check, but if you have ever seen a check, in that if it is a bearer check, how you can identify it? On check you are required to sign at a particular place, okay, and nothing, any diagonal lines or any signature anywhere you have to do it. Only where the signature is required, if that particular person who owns that check has signed the check with the amount written in the check. Okay, if you are going to the bank and if you hand it over to the bank officer or any accountant for the cash, for withdrawing of the cash, immediately you will receive the cash in bearer check. Okay, no cross checking of the owner or to whom it is being withdrawn, to whom it is drawn, who is the drawee of this check, whose check is this. All these formalities will not be checked in this bearer check. So bearer check is a sort of a very risky check, very lessly used check this is, because no sort of verification is done in this bearer check. If you by mistake drop this check anywhere and anybody else will just pick it up and make it a cash or withdraw cash from your bank account. So this is how the bearer check works actually. So it is a sort of a risk check, but if you handled it with care, then it is okay. But still it is a very risky check. Usually people make transactions with cross check much more than the bearer check. Okay, bearer check, if you are giving it to somebody, if it is standing in front of you in person, then it is okay for you to issue him a bearer check. Or if you are receiving it from that particular person, if he is standing before you, then bearer check is a safer thing. But by mistake, if you dropped it anywhere or somebody just found it or it is being stolen, then that particular person who is having this bearer check can withdraw cash from your bank account without bank verifying the actual owner of the check. Okay, so this is how the bearer check works. So let's see how the transaction of bearer checks are. Bearer check received is treated as cash and is recorded on the receipt side in the cash column as to sales or interest or commission or customer's account. As I already told you that bearer check is that type of check, if you are handing that check to the accountant, immediately you will receive cash. So it is a sort of a cash check. If you are giving the check or if you are presenting that check to the accountant, then immediately you are getting the cash. So it is recorded on the receipt side because this check is being received. That is why on the receipt side in cash column, because this is not going to directly relate to your bank. From bank you are immediately getting that cash by presenting that check to the accountant. So that is why this check is being recorded in the cash column in the cash book of cash and bank columns. So that is why this is how the entry is made over here to sales, interest, commission, customer's account in cash column. Now journal entry for this: cash account debit to sales, interest, commission and customer's account. So this is how the journal entry will be recorded. I hope you understood this. Let's move on to the next one. Check received and deposited into bank on the same day. Okay, so this is the situation: you are receiving check and immediately you have deposited that check into the bank on the same day when you have received it. Checks received are deposited into the bank for collection. This is recorded on receipt side in the bank column as to sales, interest, commission or customer's account. Okay, now if you have received any check from any trader or from your any relative or from any of your colleague, then that particular check you have deposited into the bank on the same day when you have received it for the collection of the amount in your bank account from the other's bank account. So this is how the entry will be made: bank account debit to sales, interest, commission, in what respect you are receiving that check. So this is how you have to record transactions in cash book. Let's move on to the next one. Check received dishonored, that is, it is not accepted, that is called as dishonored. Check received has to be presented to the bank for payment within 3 months from the date of drawing, otherwise it becomes worthless. Now if you are issuing any check to someone, or if you are going to receive any check from somebody, and if you are not presenting it to the bank within 3 months, or if you fail to present that particular check to the bank, then that check becomes worthless or dishonored. That is, it will be not accepted by the bank for the amount to be collected in your account. Okay, so within 3 months you have to present that particular check to the bank from the date of issue of the check. Okay, if you are issuing check today, that is on 25th December, then right within 3 months from today till the 3 months complete, you have to present that check to the bank for the collection of the amount. So that particular check will not get dishonored after 3 months. When bank refuses to pay the amount to the payee due to certain reasons, the check is said to be dishonored. And not just one reason is required for dishonoring of the check. Like if within 3 months you are not able to present that check to the bank, then the check gets dishonored. This is not only the one and only reason for dishonoring. Even bank have their own reasons for dishonoring of the checks to pay the amount to the payee. If they see any fraudulent thing in your issuing of checks or receiving of checks, if bank finds that out, then bank itself will dishonor that check for the security reasons. Dishonored check is recorded on the payment side to cancel the receipt effect in the bank. Okay, as I already told you, why it will appear on the receipt side, or why it will not appear on the receipt side, because this check is worthless, because it has been not accepted by the bank. So you are definitely not receiving that dishonored check. So in order to make a record in the bank will record that particular dishonored check on the payment side, that is by sale, interest, or in what respect this check is being dishonored, that particular account they will reflect over here in payment side, and from whom it is being dishonored, who is dishonoring this, bank is dishonoring this, so credit effect will be given by the bank account. So this is how the journal entry will be worked over here, because we are not receiving this check anyhow, because it has already become worthless. So bank has to keep record of this, that which check is dishonored, which check due to some reasons have been dishonored. They have to keep a record. Even bank also keep record of all the things, so they have to write such type of entry in their books of accounts too. So this is how the journal entry for check received dishonored is made. Let's see the another one, check issued. Okay, now if you are issuing check to somebody, if you are paying check to somebody, so that is called as check issued. Checks can be issued for cash purchases, paying commission, paying interest, or settlement of accounts. If you have purchased anything of a large amount or a very in large quantity, and you are issuing that check to the trader, then it is called as cash purchases, because immediate payment is being made. So that is called as cash purchases. I've told you several times. I hope you understood this. If you are paying commission, then if you are issuing check in respect of paying commission, paying interest. So this is how the check is being issued. It can be used for withdrawing cash from bank. Okay, I already told you. Even crossed check, bearer check, both these checks can be used for withdrawing banks, but these two checks are very different. If you want a video on this, I will definitely make a video on types of checks. It is recorded on the payment side in the bank column as by purchases, interest, commission, supplier account. Now you are making payment to that particular person to whom purchase is being made. So in payment side you have to write down by purchases, interest, a commission, supplier, in what respect this transaction is made, you have to write that particular account. And check, if you are issuing check, then obviously to bank account you have to give the credit effect, because bank is going to pay that particular amount to the supplier or trader. So to bank account. Next, cash withdrawn from bank for personal use. Now by reading this, I think you must have got what does this mean, cash withdrawn from bank for personal use. Obviously drawings account. Now this will appear on payment side in the bank column as by drawings account. Now why by drawings account? If you are owning a small industry or a company and you are withdrawing any cash or any amount from company's account, then that particular amount will be a debit effect, that will be a receipt effect for that particular person who is withdrawing money from the company. But for company it will be a payment effect. Why payment effect? Because company is giving you money, so that amount will be written on the payment side. Since you have to pay it after some time, but still for recording purposes that amount should be written on the payment side, because you are withdrawing it from bank for personal use. Now I have given you the example of a company, but here if you are withdrawing from bank for personal use, then this you have to record it on the payment side in the bank column as by drawings, because after some time you have to make that payment. So drawings account debit to bank account. Now who is going to receive the amount? The drawings account, that is you have drawn the money. So drawings account is a personal account, debit the receiver, so debit effect to bank account. Who is giving you money or who is offering you money is bank, so bank account is a personal account too, so credit the giver, so credit effect to bank account. Next one, endorsement of check. Now endorsement of check, what does it mean? Let's see. Check is a negotiable instrument and can be transferred by the holder to any other person. Negotiable means it is a transferable instrument. It can be transferred by the holder. Whoever is the holder of the check, it can be transferred to any other person whom you are willing to transfer. A trader may transfer in favor of his creditor to settle his liabilities. Now if a trader has taken some goods from his creditors, then to settle his liabilities, that is the trader's liabilities, he will endorse a check in respect of the creditor to pay off his liabilities. It is done by signing at the back of check or on a slip of paper annexed thereto and is known as endorsement. Okay, I told you, if you are endorsing a check to any particular person for any settlement of any liabilities or any debts, you by simply signing at the back of check or on a slip of paper annexed thereto, it is known as endorsement. So this is how the endorsement of check is done, by signing at the back of the check. The person who endorses the check is the endorser, and the person to whom the check is endorsed is endorsee. Okay, whoever is endorsing the check is known as endorser, and whoever is going to get that check, that is to whom that particular check is endorsed, that particular person is known as endorsee. Okay, next, the conditions in this endorsement of check. Now if check received has been recorded on the receipt side in the cash column, then endorsement of this check will be recorded on the payment side in the cash column as by creditor's account. Now why here they have said this creditor's account debit to cash account? If you have received any check and that you have recorded on the receipt side in the cash column, that is if you have received the amount in cash, so you are going to write that cash in that cash column, then endorsement of this check will be recorded on the payment side in the cash column as by creditor's account. Why you are going to write this by creditor's account in the payment side? Because if you have endorsed this check, then you are going to write this in the payment side by creditor's account, because you are settling liabilities with creditors, that is you are making payment, so you are going to write this by creditor's account in payment side in cash column. So creditor's account debit to cash account. So this is how the journal entry is going to be recorded. Now next, if check received has been recorded on the receipt side in the bank column, then endorsement of this check will be recorded on the payment side in the bank column as to creditor's account. Just vice versa they had done over here. If it is related to bank, if you are receiving check and you have recorded that particular amount in the bank column, then endorsement of this check will be recorded on the payment side of the bank column as to creditor's account. So creditor's account debit effect and to bank account. If you are writing the particular amount in bank column, so bank column is going to get affected over here. Let's take the other one, bank advices and statements. Banks offer a range of services like collection of checks that are deposited into bank, collection of dividend, payment of expenses on behalf of account holder, etc. Now, bank provides us some sort of services like collection of checks that are deposited into bank, for that amount to be transferred in particular account for which the check is being deposited, then collection of dividend, payment of expenses on behalf of account holder. This is also a facility given by bank to its customers. If customers want their bank to pay all the expenses that are being made by the customer to the third parties, bank also take a charge of it, etc. So these are the services that are being offered by the bank to their customers. Bank then sends an advice to the account holder giving details of these transactions. Now in return, bank will also charge something for offering these services. So they send you an advice to pay the amount or pay the charges of the transactions they had done through the bank, that is bank has done on behalf of them. So this is also a sort of a service given by bank, but in return they are going to charge you for the services they are rendering to you. Current account holders also get a periodical statement from the bank which gives details of transactions like dishonor of check, direct deposit made by customer, interest charged on overdraft, bank charges deducted by bank, interest allowed by bank, etc. So not just to its customers but also to the current account holders who are businessmen, to them also bank presents a statement, a periodical statement that gives the details of the transactions that bank is making on behalf of the account holder or the current account holder. So if any check is being dishonored, that particular information they are going to give you through their statements or through the advices they are going to present to you, that is the customers or the account holders. Any sort of transactions that is being made by the bank on behalf of the customers, they are going to give you a statement for the detailed information of the transactions that are being made by the bank on behalf of the current account holder. Okay. On the basis of advice and statement, received transactions are recorded by the trader in the cash book. Now, on the basis of this bank advices and statements, now whatever transactions you are receiving, that are being recorded by the trader in the cash book. So this is how trader or any businessman or any customer or any account holder will keep a record of all the transactions they are making through banks. So this is how the advices and statements play the role of carrying out the transactions for you, that is the customers or the account holders. Next one, direct deposit by customer into bank. Now here, instead of paying by cash or check for settlement of accounts, customers may directly deposit money into a bank account. Now this is recorded on the receipt side in the bank column as to customer's account. Now bank also maintains the books of accounts, that is it also keeps a record of all the transactions that are being made by bank with the customers. So if customer prefers the direct deposit of money into the bank account, so this is also a type of transaction bank have to keep a record of in their books of accounts. So how they will write the journal entry, bank account debit, that is bank is going to receive the amount from the customer or the account holder So debit effect, debit the receiver, since it is a personal account, and from whom it is being received, that is from the customer, so to customer's account. So this is how the transaction is being carried out. Next one, interest allowed by bank. Banks allow interest on bank deposits. This is income for the trader and therefore increases the balance in bank. It is recorded on the receipt side in the bank column. Now here every account holder deposits money into bank or keeps a savings into a bank account. So on that particular thing, bank charge you with interest. It may be either in the form of profit or in the form of a charge. Now here they have given an example of bank deposit, that if you have deposited some amount in the bank, okay, so this is an income for the trader, and therefore because you are depositing into the bank the amount, so for that you are going to get some sort of return, that is some sort of profit you are going to get, that is in the form of interest, which is being given by bank to their account holders. So this is how the income of the trader also increases in the balance of the bank account by giving them interest to the trader. Who is going to give the interest? Obviously the bank. Now here how you can maintain a record of this transaction. It is recorded on the receipt side in bank column. Now bank is giving you this amount, so that is why you are going to write that particular amount in bank column, but on the receipt side, because you are receiving that amount from the bank. So this is how the entry is being recorded. Next one, interest charged on overdraft by bank. Now here overdraft facility is a short-term loan given to current account holders. Bank charges certain percentage of interest on overdraft amount, which is expenditure to the trader. Bank just not provides you a service which you can enjoy, but also charges on that facility if you are referring that facility, that is the overdraft facility. If you utilize this overdraft facility, bank is going to charge you with some percentage of interest on that overdraft amount, which is going to be an expenditure for you, that is the trader, till you pay the entire amount to the bank. It is recorded on the payment side in bank column as by interest on overdraft account. Okay, now if you have taken any overdraft facility from the bank, then you are going to write that particular account on the payment side as by interest on overdraft account in the bank column, because you have taken that facility from bank, so you have to write that amount in the bank column. Journal entry, interest on overdraft account debit, because in respect of this account you are being charged with interest from the bank. So debit effect, debit all expenses on losses. This is a nominal account, this is a loss for you, so debit effect. And to bank account, who is giving you this interest, who is going to charge this interest? Bank. So to bank account, so credit effect, credit the giver. So this is how the interest charged on overdraft by bank transactions entry is made. Next one, bank charges debited by bank. Certain amount is charged by the bank for services rendered by them. As I already told you, bank just not only renders you the services but also charge for that services they are rendering to you. This is known as bank charges. So the chargings they are making on you, or them made on you, that particular charge is known as bank charges. Bank charges are expenditure for the trader and are recorded on the payment side in the bank column as by bank charges account. Since bank is charging you for the services they are rendering to you, so you have to write down that particular account on the payment side in the bank column by bank charges and the amount in the bank column. Journal entry, bank charges account debit to bank account. Now why the debit effect to bank charges? It is a loss for the trader or the businessman, so debit effect. And who is charging you? Bank. So the giver is the bank, so credit effect to bank account. In every transaction, rule plays a very important role, so you have to remember the 3 golden accounting rules that will help you at every moment of recording the transactions, and to even identify which to give debit effect and which to give credit effect, which is a loss, which is a profit. Through that rules only you will understand the recording of transactions. So remember that rules, and then you will understand the entire thing. Next one, dividend or interest on investment collected by bank on behalf of trader. Now this is income of trader collected by bank. On receiving an advice or statement from bank, the trader records this transaction on the receipt side in the bank column as to interest on investment account. Now here what is the thing? If you are receiving any dividend or any interest which a trader is going to receive, and you have given certain instructions to the bank for the collection of that particular dividend or interest, so obviously this is an income for the trader to whom this dividend or interest is allotted. So bank will provide you with an advice or statement regarding the transactions they are going to do while carrying out this transaction. Okay, so this, why they will give you this advice or statement? Because they will give you a proof of the transactions they have carried out on behalf of you, and even they will advise you to record that transaction in your books of accounts, so as to maintain a record of the transactions that are being made by bank on behalf of you. So this is how the transactions are recorded by bank, as well as the trader has to keep. Now what is the journal entry? Bank account debit to interest / dividend account. Now who is carrying out these transactions? Who is going to receive the amount on behalf of the trader? Bank. So bank account debit effect, debit the receiver, and what it is going to receive? Interest, dividend. So it is a profit for you, so credit effect to interest or dividend account. Next one, payment made by bank under the standing instruction given by trader. Okay, now in this, as per the standing instructions given to bank, the bank makes payments of insurance premium, telephone bill, electricity bills and other expenses on behalf of trader. This is recorded on the payment side in bank column as by respective expenses account. Now if any trader or any customer has given standing instructions to the bank to make payments on behalf of them, then how you are going to record the journal entry? Okay, respective expenses, whatever expenses on which the payment is made by the bank, that particular expenses is going to get the debit effect. And who is carrying out these transactions? To bank account, because bank is paying that particular amount from the from any particular person's account who has given standing instructions, so to bank account, because bank is carrying out these transactions on behalf of that particular person, so credit effect, credit the giver to bank account. Next one, transfer of amount. In addition to current account, a businessman may have credit or loan account with the bank to meet his financial requirements. He can transfer money from cash, credit or loan account to current account, or from current account to cash, credit or loan account. So now here a businessman opens a current account. Okay, so in that he may have opened a credit or loan account with the bank to meet his all financial requirements. So a businessman can transfer money from his cash, credit or loan account to his current account or vice versa. Okay, for which the account is being opened. He can transfer this amount, businessman, because current account is being allowed just to businessmen. Only businessman can open a current account. Similarly, amount can be transferred from personal savings account to current account or from current account to personal account. The treatments of these transactions are as under. Similarly, it goes with the savings account and with the current account. You can transfer the amount from your personal savings account to the current account if you are owning any sort of business, or from current account to any personal account, that is personal savings account. Now, how the treatments of these transfers will be made, let's see. From cash, credit or loan account to current account. So this is the first account when you are transferring cash, credit or loan accounts amount to current account. This transaction increases the current account balance and is therefore recorded on the receipt side in the bank column as to cash, credit or loan account. Now here you are transferring the amount from cash, credit or loan account to current account. So automatically current accounts balance is increasing. So how you are going to make a entry for this? You have to write down the amount on the receipt side in the bank column, because the current account is being opened with bank. Obviously cash, credit or loan account is being opened with bank. So in both the cases bank account is affected. So here you are transferring the amount from loan account to current account. So how you are going to make an entry in respect of current account, because current account is getting that amount from loan account. So bank account debit to cash, credit or loan account. Now here this amount is going to obviously transfer in bank, that is in your current account. Current account is in bank, so debit effect, and it is a receiver, so debit the receiver and debit effect is being granted over here to bank. By which account it is getting? To cash, credit or loan account. From this account you are getting that amount transferred, so credit effect to this, credit the giver. So this is how the journal entry is being made. From current account to cash, credit or loan account. Now vice versa they did. Just shift this up and shift that account downward. Whichever account is given the credit effect over here, just transfer that to the debit effect, and whichever is given as a debit effect, transfer that effect to as a credit effect. But let's see how the explanation is given. This transaction decreases the current balance and is therefore recorded on the payment side in the bank column as by cash, credit or loan account. Now here current accounts balance is decreasing as you are transferring the amount to cash, credit or loan account. So the entry for this, cash, credit or loan account debit to bank account. Now here amount is being transferred in this loan account, amount is increasing, so debit effect, debit the receiver, and to bank account, whoever is giving the amount, that is getting the credit effect, so credit the giver. Next one, from personal saving account to current account. This is the additional cash brought into business by the trader. It increases the capital balance and current account balance and is recorded on the receipt side in the bank column as to capital account. Now here, if a businessman is owning a personal saving account as well as a current account, and he makes a transaction that transferring personal savings account to current account, so in case he is increasing the balance of current account, now how you will record it? Now here you have to record to capital account on the receipt side, but amount in bank column. How? Bank account debit to capital account. Now bank account is getting that amount from personal savings account of the businessman, so debit the receiver to the bank, and in what respect it is getting? To capital, because additional cash is being brought and capital is being introduced. So capital, credit the giver, whoever is giving the amount. So this is how the entry is made. Next one, from current account to personal savings account. This is drawings of the proprietor. It decreases the current account balance and is recorded in the payment side in the bank column as by drawings account. Now here, from current account you are withdrawing some sort of amount for your personal use, so it is decreasing the current account balance. So by drawings account you are going to write it in the payment side and amount in the bank column, because current account is opened in bank, so obviously bank's account balance is reducing, so it is given the payment side effect, that is the credit side effect. Now here the journal entry for this, drawings account debit, because you are receiving the cash or the amount from the current account, so debit the receiver. And who is giving you? The current account which is opened in bank, so bank is giving you indirectly, so credit effect to the bank account. Next one, contra entries. Now this is a very new topic for this, so let's see. Certain transaction affects cash account and bank account simultaneously. Now here in all these transactions right now we studied, just bank account was getting affected. Okay, now here in this contra entry, simultaneously two accounts are getting affected, that is cash as well as bank account. Now here it may decrease the cash balance and increase bank balance, or increase the cash balance and decrease bank balance at the same time. Though these two accounts are affected, but one account is going to increase and the other is going to decrease, and the vice versa. In columnar cash book, cash account and bank account appear under the same heading of cash book. Now in here, cash and bank column. Now this is a cash book with cash and bank column, that is this is a 2-column cash book. So this bank and cash column both appear under same heading, that is under the same book, that is cash book. So in this also, even it is the same book, but one account is going to increase and the other is going to decrease. So from this they are telling you that this is a sort of contra entry, that is 2 entries. To record increase in bank balance, bank account is debited, and to record decrease in cash balance, cash account is credited, and vice versa. Entries recorded on both the sides of cash book are called as contra entries. As I already told you, if there is a contra entries transaction and both the sides are affected, that is the receipt side and payment side, this is called as contra entry, that is both the sides are getting the effects, that is why it is called as contra entries. It occurs only when cash account and bank account are simultaneously affected in a transaction. I already told you about this, when two accounts are getting affected at the same time, that is called as contra entry. Contra entries are denoted by the capital letter C in the ledger folio column. Now when you got to identify the contra entry, do not forget to write the capital C in the ledger folio column, because it represents that this particular type of transaction is a contra entry transaction. If you will not write down that particular transaction, the whole transaction will go invalid. So do not forget to write the capital C in the ledger folio column to represent this transaction as a contra entry transaction. Okay, now what are the examples of contra entries? Let's see. Cash deposited into the bank. Now here in this transaction, two accounts are getting affected, that is cash as well as the bank. What is here? You are depositing cash into the bank, so two accounts, cash and bank. So you have to write down on the both side, that is on the receipt side and as well as on the payment side. Now again the next one, cash withdrawn from the bank for office use. Again the two accounts, check received on previous day deposited into the bank. So similarly, in this type of transaction also two types of accounts are affected, that is cash as well as the bank account is affected. Now what is the accounting treatment for contra entries? Let's see on the next page. So let's see the first type of example, that is cash deposited into the bank. This transaction increases the bank balance and decreases the cash balance and is recorded as it is already told, one account is going to get the increased effect and other account is going to get the decreased effect. Now here bank account is getting the increased effect and cash account is getting the decreased effect. So the entry for this, receipt side to cash account in the bank column, payment side by bank account in the cash column. Now in receipt side, you are going to write down to cash account, but the amount you are going to write down in the bank column. Why? Because you are depositing that particular cash into the bank, so you are writing down the amount in bank column. Similarly, in payment side, you are going to write down the bank account because amount is being deposited into the bank. You are making payment in the bank, so bank account, and through what means you are depositing? In cash you are depositing the amount, so in cash column you are going to write down that particular amount of deposit. Journal entry, bank account debit to cash account. Bank is the receiver of the cash, so debit effect, and cash is going out of the business or any person is depositing, then cash is going out, so credit effect. Credit what goes out. See here they have given the explanation. In the above transaction, bank is the receiver, therefore it is debited to cash account. Similarly, cash is going out, therefore it is credited by bank account. So this is how the entry is being made, as I already told you. Next one, cash withdrawn from bank for office use. Now this transaction increases the cash balance and decreases the bank balance. Now here you are withdrawing cash from bank for the office use. Now cash account is increasing and bank account is decreasing. So how the entry will be? Receipt side you are going to write down as to bank account, because from bank you are getting that money or that amount or that cash, and you have to, now here you are receiving amount in cash, so that particular amount you are going to write down in the cash column of cash book. Similarly, payment side by cash book in the bank column. Now here in payment side, bank is giving you amount in cash, so in bank column you have to write down that particular amount of cash that is being given by the bank to the trader or any other person, whoever is in this transaction. Now journal entry for this, cash account debit to bank account. Now cash account is increasing over here because bank is giving you cash, so cash account debit what comes in, cash account is receiving the amount from bank, and who is giving? Bank account is giving. Bank is a personal account, credit the giver, so credit effect is given over here to bank. Now here cash comes into the business, therefore it is debited to bank account. Similarly, bank is the giver and therefore it is credited by cash account, as I already told you this. Next one, check received on previous day deposited into the bank. Now here bearer checks received are treated as cash. As I already told you what is bearer check. Bearer check is a sort of a cash type check. If you will hand it over to the bank accountant, he will immediately grant you with the cash, whatever amount is written in the cash. When it is deposited into the bank for collection, it is assumed that cash is going out and bank is the receiver. This transaction increases the bank balance and decreases the cash balance. Now here, if you are depositing cash into the bank through bearer check, now bearer check is treated as a cash. Now bank, it will receive the check in the form of cash, that is the check, and here bank account amount is increasing and cash accounts amount is decreasing. So how it will be recorded in cash book? In receipt side you have to write down as to cash account, but the amount you have to write down in bank column, because you are depositing this check into the bank, that is cash into the bank. So in bank column you have to write down that particular amount. And payment side by bank account. Now who is receiving this? Bank is receiving this, but cash account is paying this to bank. So bank account will record that particular amount from cash account in bank column, in the cash column, because your cash account is giving amount in cash to the bank and bank is receiving that amount in cash. So bank will write that particular amount in cash column. Okay, I hope you understood this last one. I know it was a very critical one, but this is how the contra entry is made over here. Now journal entry for this: bank account debit, since bank is receiving this amount from cash account, so debit the receiver to bank account. And cash account, that is cash is going out and it is cash account is going to give that amount to bank account. So credit effect to cash account, credit what goes out. Here bank is the receiver, therefore it is debited to cash account. Similarly, cash is going out, therefore it is credited by bank account. So this is how the contra entries are made and recorded. I hope you understood this. So that's the end of this today's video. I hope you understood what I have explained to you in this video. So I know this is a very big theoretical part I'm discussing right now in middle of this example, but I felt this topic very important while shifting to the example of this double column cash book, because this theory part is right before your double column cash book. So I thought that you will face some sort of difficulties while solving these examples with banking transactions. So I thought that I should make a video on this so that you will get an idea like what type of banking transactions are. It is much more of check deposited and withdrawn from bank for personal use, for office use. Like these are the banking transactions in general right now for you in 11th standard. In further classes you will learn more about banking transactions, like what type of banking transactions are in a very critical manner. Right now it is a basic stage for you, so I thought that this are the main thing that I should discuss with you, I should explain you, so that you shouldn't face any difficulty while solving the problems. I hope you got I have explained to you in this video, and it will definitely help you out while solving the double column cash book. So in the next video we will see an example of double column cash book. So if you did like this today's video, do hit that like button, share with your friends, with your classmates, with your new classmates, whoever is in need of this topic, where this topic is not discussed in your class or not explained to you by your teachers or by your class tutors, wherever you are going with. You will find this video really helpful, so share with them, help them out also, so that they can also progress in their studies. And comment down your suggestions, your complaints, any queries regarding this video, regarding my last video which I have uploaded 1 month. So I will definitely answer that. Don't hesitate to ask me anything. I will definitely try to solve it out for you. And if you're new to my channel, definitely subscribe to my channel, click that bell icon to get all the new notifications of all my new videos. Till then, take care. Goodbye.